In a campaign I was running a few years ago, one of my players had just been captured and imprisoned in an orc keep after attempting one of the worst plans I've ever heard of in my entire D&D career. So instead of starting this adventure in the tavern like we usually do, we're going to be starting within the nearby orc dungeon, where Joter the human druid met two other characters in his prison cell. First, we had Nox, the tiefling druid, a local book collector who had tried to steal a magic tome from the orcs and had gotten captured in the process. Why exactly did you try to do that alone? Well, you were all really intimidating, being real adventurers and stuff, and I didn't really want to bother anybody, so I figured I would just try to do it by myself. And how exactly are you feeling about that plan now in retrospect? Not great. And lastly, we had Mirren, the elf wizard, who was a little bit more confused than the rest of the party about what was happening. Instead of being from the nearby city of Eserith like the rest of the party, he was from a faraway kingdom. I'd been hired by a powerful wizard who went by the name of Claudia, who, knowing how all-powerful I was, decided to send me and my allies out on a great expedition. And to make a very long story much shorter, he'd been hired to go collect a powerful magic item. However, after finding it, the relic had instantly activated on its own, ripping a tear into reality and dragging him through a Slipgate, where he promptly appeared in the middle of a crowded orc keep and got captured almost immediately. After a brief bit of planning, the party learned that Mirren had a teleportation spell scroll inside of his bag, so they just needed to find wherever their stuff was being held and they'd be able to teleport out. I can burn down the door to the cell to get us out, but we're gonna need a distraction somehow because there's two guards right outside the door and I don't think we can fight them without weapons. Almost immediately after Nox finished saying that, there was a loud explosion echoing out from above where they were being held, and voices began shouting from further into the keep. "We're being attacked! All guards to the front gate, immediately!" Well, that worked out surprisingly well. After destroying the doorway, the party began hunting through the hallways looking for where their items were being held, and soon found a storage room near the center of the castle. Immediately, Nox began picking the lock to the storage room, or more accurately trying to burn his way through. Meanwhile, two more adventurers ran down the hallway from behind and found the party. There was Degander, the human paladin, and Viona, the human artificer, who'd both started this prison break in order to save Joter. Viona, why are you carrying a glowing squirrel? It's Quilus's fault. Anyway, there's a bunch of orcs about to catch up to us that we should focus on instead of this, okay? Yeah, for sure. And before I forget, this is Nox burning a hole in the door, and this is Mirren, standing around. Existing. The party's introductions were cut off as the nearest group of orcs rounded the corner. Kill the inventor first. She's trouble. What? What did I ever do to you? You burned down our farmhouse outpost just a few weeks ago. No, actually, I'm pretty sure Joter did that. I was just kind of there. Wait, was it? Oh, it was! Yeah, never mind, one sec. Actually, kill the green-cloaked one first. But also, he's unarmed, so maybe... Joter then used Wild Shape to turn into a bear. Okay, cool, yeah, focus on him. I'll take out the wizard. The leader of the orc camp fired his crossbow and killed Mirren in a single shot. Wow, that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be, just wow. Also, I feel like I should really quickly mention that Mirren was not a player character. He was just an NPC to flesh out the prison break in case Viona and Stig's players had trouble scheduling. But yeah, I did not just murk a player character out of nowhere, I promise. Anyway, Stig stayed back to defend Nox while Viona ran forward with her longsword at the ready. After a brief skirmish, she managed to take down one of the guards, but she did take a critical hit on herself in the process. After a few more turns of combat, Joter was knocked out of his wild shape and returned back to his human form. However, at this point, Joter's player finally remembered the devil power that he'd been given from the obelisk back in episode 3, and decided that now was as good a time as any to try it out, and so he activated Curse of the Dark Dream. He had to make a charisma attack roll against each of the guards' wisdom ACs, and any of them who he hit would take massive psychic damage as they hallucinated their worst nightmares come to life to attack them. This immediately killed two of the guards and left their leader severely injured. Viona stepped forward and stabbed her sword through the warlord's stomach, just as Nox finished destroying the door to the storage room. Alright, we gotta get going. We saw a ton of guards back there and I bet most of them are on their way here right now. The party ran into the storage closet and quickly grabbed all of their missing gear, as well as everything that Mirren had owned. First was a bag of holding, which Joter quickly collected as his own, and then there was the Scroll of Teleportation. However, none of the party really knew how to use it properly, so after they activated the scroll, they rolled a die to determine what random location they'd be sent to. After the spell finished, the party found themselves on a small road surrounded by trees. However, the area was a little bit weird. The air smelled like cinnamon, the grass was a bright blue, the leaves on the trees were pink, and the water was a vibrant orange color. They quickly recognized this as the woods south of Eserith, near where they'd summoned the Mecha Tarrasque back in episode 5. Okay, now quickly, before anything else crazy happens, Joter, I just wanted to say that I'm really sorry my plan almost got you killed. I really should have thought it through a little bit more before we actually did it, and I'm sorry. Yeah, it wasn't the best plan ever, but hey, now we're even about the whole activating a devil obelisk thing. I'm sorry you're even about what? I leave you guys alone for like one adventure. Hey, I hate to interrupt, but do you guys smell that? The cinnamon? Yeah, it just kinda smells like that here, I guess. No, I mean like beneath that, it smells like old books. I think it's coming from the trees? Before the party had time to ponder that one, they were interrupted by loud, metallic clanking noises, and walking down the road towards them were 4 clockwork soldiers moving in near-perfect unison. The one in the lead was missing one of its arms, and both Stig and Fiona immediately recognized these from before. They tried to hide in the nearby bushes, but it was already too late. They'd been spotted. Where is the professor? How exactly would we know that? What Stig means to say is that they're like way to the south of us and far away from here, and you should go there to find them. Location error, incorrect location provided. Okay, well then what do you want us to say? Isn't it like your whole mission to be trying to find this person? Correct. Coordinates updated. The end is here. The professor has arrived. The Clockworks then promptly walked past the party and continued along the road. And that's when the party spotted it. In the sky above the mountains to the south of them, a massive, dark rift had clawed its way open, a slipgate to somewhere unknown, and falling through it was a large mansion engulfed in flames. It crashed down somewhere near the mountains, and the shockwave rippled out through the entire region while the slipgate closed once more. I'm gonna vote that we just go home and deal with that some other day. Yeah, I think I'm good with that. And with that, the party returned to their home city of Eserith, but before they split up, Stygander had something important he needed to do. Hey, random person over there! That's certainly one way to start a conversation. Have you ever heard of the saying, always beware the crossbow velociraptors? What are you talking about? See, Joter? I told you nobody else had ever heard of it. Vindication! And with that, the party split up and began preparing for their future adventures. However, in the burnt-out wreckage of the mansion to the south, the professor began planning schemes of his own. However, that's gonna have to wait until next episode, so don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss that when it gets uploaded. Also, I have a Patreon if you want to help support the channel. You get access to a few short horror stories I've written, and new ones are occasionally posted every once in a while. Either way, I'll see you in the next video.